Everyone, today we discuss about the base, that is the second part of class 10 chapter 2. So what are the bases? Bases are those chemical substance which have a bitter taste. In taste it is considered as a bitter, and it is a chemical substance which can neutralize an acid. When acid react with a base, that gives you a neutralization reaction, or you can say it give you a salt. So it is considered as a neutralization reaction. All the metal oxide and metal hydroxides are bases also. So when we talk about the metal oxide and metal hydroxide, that is also considered as a bases. So what is the meaning of alkali? There is a term here, and it is used number of times in your books as well as in your class also. So this is a meaning of the alkali. A base which is soluble in water is called an alkali. When you just dissolve the base in the water, that gives you a solution that is considered as an alkali. So NaOH, KOH, CaOH whole twice, MgOH whole twice, it all are considered as a alkali because they are dissolved in water. What do all the bases have in common? That is an important question, or you can say basic concepts of the base. What is the common in all the bases? So when a b sorry this is a base. When a base is dissolved in water, it produces a hydroxide ions. What is the meaning of the hydroxide ions? OH negative in solution. So when any base is dissolved in water, it gives you the OH ions, that is known as the hydroxide ions. So this is the common part of all the bases. Here are some examples. First one is NaOH. When you dissociate or when you dissolve in water, that is the meaning when you dissolve in water, because NaOH cannot dissociate into the Na positive or OH negative ions until you just dissolve the water in it. So when you dissolve water in NaOH solution, it gives you a Na positive plus OH negative as well as H positive and OH negative, because water is also dissociate into the ions. Here another example we have KOH. When KOH dissolved in water, again I am saying that it give you K positive plus OH negative as well as H positive and OH negative ions. That is the same thing which we have studied in the first equation. Like in third equation, MgOH whole twice, that is considered as a milk of magnesia or antacid, you can say. So when you dissolve the milk of magnesia or magnesium hydroxide in water, it gives you Mg plus 2 plus OH ions. Whether it is 1, whether it is 2, doesn't matter, because this is a balancing equation. So the common thing is that in all three equations we have a OH negative ions in it. That's why when OH ions are present, that is considered as a base, you can say that one. So now we divide the base into two categories upon their strength. How much a base is stronger or weak, that gives you the OH negative ions in their solution. So when you dissolve the any base in water, it give you more amount of OH negative or either a less amount of OH negative ion. So if more amount of OH negative ion is present in your solution, that means it is a strong base, and if less amount of OH negative ions is present, that is considered as a weak base. So we have a meaning of that, or you can say a definition of strong base is here. So what is the meaning? A base which is completely ionized. I am underline this word completely ionized. That means it dissociate completely in water and produce a large amount of hydroxide ion. I already told you that if large amount of hydroxide ion is present in the solution, that is considered as a strong base, because if a substance is dissolved in water completely, that gives you a large number of OH negative ions. So this is known as a strong base or a strong alkali, you can say. So the next term is here weak base, which is partially ionized. That means not completely, partially. That means some part of the base is dissolved and some part of the base is not dissolved. So that produce a small amount of hydroxide ions in the solution, that is considered as a weak base. So we have two examples of weak base. First one is COH whole twice, that is calcium hydroxide, and second one is MgOH whole twice, that is called a milk of magnesia or antacid. We have another example of that, NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. So what are the properties of bases? Now we have a properties of bases. What are the properties of bases? First one is it is has having a bitter taste. That means you just feel that it is not to eat properly. That is considered as a bitter taste, or you can say kadwa. ठीक है. Second point is that bases feel soapy to touch. If you touch the base, then you feel a soapy. That means soapy, like just like a soap. ठीक है. So first second point is that कि when you touch the base, it feels you a soap like touch. Third point is that base turn red litmus to blue. That it indication कि whether the base is present in your solution or not. If red litmus turn into blue, that is a confirmation that base is present here. Now fourth point is that bases are electrolyte. I told you in the previous video that what is the meaning of the electrolyte. Electrolyte means when you dissolve acid or base, any substance, acid or base, in water, it gives you the ions. When ions are present in solution, that means it is a conductor of electricity. So anything when you dissolved in water, anything I'm saying, that means acid and base. When you dissolve the acid and base in your solution, that means in water, if ions are present, that means it is a conductor of electricity. So electrolyte means ions are present, and ions are responsible to conduct the electricity. Fifth point is that bases react with some metals to form hydrogen gas. We have an equation here. When metal react with base, what will be obtained? So we have a salt here that is known as a sodium zincate. Student, this is a very important reaction for your board exams. See what happened when base react with zinc metal, and it gives you a blank over there, and you just fill it or balance it. So this is an equation you have to learn properly. Na2Zn O2 plus hydrogen gas is evolved here. Bases react with acid to form salt and water. When any base react with acid, then what will be the reaction? Number of times I told you that when base react with an acid, it gives you a neutralization reaction. That means salt and water is formed. But you have to mention the reaction also. So just learn properly, because any reaction cannot balance if you don't know the product. So please remember this one, ki what is the product after the reaction. That means after in the product side, this is called the reactant side, and this is called the product side. Okay. Now seventh point is that base react with non-metal oxide to form salt and water. What happened when base react with non-metal oxide? It gives you a salt and water. That means it is also considered as a neutralization reaction. So we have an example over here. COH whole twice plus CO2 react, then it gives you a calcium carbonate, that is considered as a salt, or you can say a limestone also, that and also a byproduct of water. Okay. Now another point, we have a pH scale. pH means, what is the meaning of pH? We just learn about this. pH means power of hydrogen. So what is the meaning of pH scale? That means how acid and base react in solution. What is the strength of an acid and a base solution? Means if it is a strong base, weak base, or a strong acid or a weak acid, that means depend upon the strength also. So here we have an example, or we have a explanation of the pH scale. First we understand what is the meaning of pH, then we go through it with the help of a diagram. In 1909, Sorensen devised a scale on which the strength of acid solution as well as basic solution could be represented by making use of hydrogen ion concentration in them. That means Sorensen in 1909 designed a scale which give you an idea about this solution, which solution is having acidic nature and which solution have a basic nature. That give you an idea, and that give an idea about the hydrogen ion concentration. If the hydrogen ion concentration is less, that means it is a base. If hydrogen ion concentration is more, then it means it is an acid. See student, there should be no confusion at all. If I am saying that base, that means it doesn't mean that it always contain a amount of OH negative ion. It although contains some amount of the H positive also. So doesn't make any sense about it that if an acid contain, that means only and only H positive ion concentration is present. There is some amount of OH negative ions is also present in it. So learn that properly. The pH of solution is inversely proportional to the concentration of hydrogen in it. pH of solution is inversely to the hydrogen ion concentration. If high H positive ion is more, that means pH is lower, and if H positive ion is less, that means pH is more. That we understood with the help of an example or with the help of a table here. So learn properly. If an acid acid, that means H positive ions is present. If more H positive ions is present, so we just find out if an acid, it means it has a concentration of H positive ions in more amount, and OH negative ions in less amount. That is the meaning of the strong acid, you can say. And if I am saying a strong base, means OH ion concentration is more while the H positive ion concentration is less. That is the meaning of the strong acid, or you can say a strong base, and vice versa. So don't be confused. If I am saying there is a strong acid, it doesn't mean it doesn't have the OH ion concentration. That means it also has some part of the OH ion concentration also. So now next topic we have is a universal indicator. What is the meaning of the universal indicator? Universal indicator means it is a mixture of many different indicators which give different colors at different pH values of the entire pH scale. This is a pH scale we have. This is a pH scale we have. See here. And we have a value from 0 to 14. Okay. Okay. 7 is neutral. That means there is it not considered as a acid or base because it is a neutral, and water is considered as a 7 pH. So we can see that with the help of a diagram here, pH of common substances. So if an substance have 0 pH, that means it is highly acidic in nature, while the substance which have a 14 pH, that means it is highly basic in nature. 7 is considered as a neutral, and between these two they are having a different pH of different substances. So we have to learn this one because in board exams it also can be asked. So be prepared for this one because it is a learning process. So you just learn some of the important pH values of the different substances. Now we have a importance of pH in everyday life. This is a important part of that topic of that content. So first is your pH in our digestive system. The meaning of that, the dilute hydrochloric acid in digestion help in our digestion for the food. That means ki we have a dilute hydrochloric acid in our stomach. That means it helps to digest the process. It helps to digest the food. If the excess amount of acid is present in our stomach, it causes indigestion, and to neutralize this one we have to add a base because acid can neutralize with the help of a base only. So in order to cure indigestion we just take amount of antacid. Antacid means anti-acid, which is against the acid, that is considered as a antacid. And antacid, we have a well known product, you can say, that is a milk of magnesia, that is considered as a magnesium hydroxide, MgOH whole twice. And another one is sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is called the baking soda. You can also take a baking soda when you feel indigestion or a stomach pain or irritation. You can add this one also. Now the second point, what is the importance of pH in tooth decay? What is the important? That means not importance. What is the importance of pH change if it is occur in our tooth? So when we take food of sugary substance, that means sugary food, if we take, then the bacteria present in our mouth break down the sugar to form an acid. That acid considered also as a lactic acid also, so you can say lactic acid. So tooth enamel, that is a tooth part, it is made up of a calcium phosphate, which is the hardest material in our body. But that is a hardest material. Imagine about this one, that is a hardest material and it can be decay also where the pH changes. So what is the importance of pH? PH is very important for our body, you can say, for our mouth, for our stomach part. So if the pH changes, it can hurts you, it can damage you internally. So you have to balance the pH for our body, but it is start getting corroded when the pH in the mouth is lower than 5.5. If the pH of our mouth is lower than 5.5, then we feel a tooth pain, or you can say tooth decay also. So just maintain this one after the taking your food, after the taking your dinner. You just clean your tooth also. That is important part of your daily life. So what is the next part? What is the next one? That is a plant and animals are sensitive to pH changes. If pH change occur, then plants and also sensitive towards this one. So what is the meaning of that? We just find out with the help of a paragraph. First one is, most of the plant grow best when the pH of the soil is close to 7. If the soil pH is nearly about to 7, then the plant growth can be easily applicable, or you can say it grow very fast in that pH only. The soil pH also affected by the use of chemical fertilizers in the field. The pH of acidic soil can reach as low as 4. If the soil pH is lower than 4, then means it is a acidic soil. Or if it is more than 8.3, that means it is considered a basic soil. So plant cannot grow in that situation if the pH is too low or if the pH is too high. We just maintain this one, and by maintaining this, we have to add amount of acid as well as a base. If the basic soil is present, you just control this one by adding the acid. And if the 4 pH is there, that means low pH is there, that means you have to add a amount of base over there. So we just maintain this one with the help of a acid or base. Now second point is then aquatic life can aquatic life, not cancel 5, aquatic life in lake river water within a narrow range of 7 to 7.8 pH. The aquatic life can survive in the lake water or river water, in any water around the pH of 7 to 7.8. Okay. Now too much acid rain can lower the pH. If the acid rain is occur, if the acid is present in the water, that means it is not suitable for the aquatic life to survive over there. So it is very difficult. To balance this one, we just often add the calcium carbonate to neutralize the acid. This prevent the fish in the lake from being killed. So we just maintain that pH to control the fish killing. So we just maintain that one by the adding of a calcium carbonate in the acidic water. Now next point is self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. We find out the number of examples over here, that honeybee, wasp sting, and nettle sting. That number of examples we have, that they just protect themselves by the outer environment. First example is here, when a honeybee sting a person, it inject an acidic liquid. Just mention in your mind and just learn this one. Honey bee release a acidic liquid, and to neutralize this acidic liquid, we just rub a base over there, and this base is you consider as a baking soda also, base over there. So acid and base when react together, it gives you a salt solution. That means a neutralization reaction there, the acidic nature being diminished. Okay, the stung area because it is a base which neutralizes the acid. So this is the meaning. So number of questions we can ask from this section, MCQs also. When honeybee sting, what kind of what kind of substance it release, and by the help of this substance we can just control to it. So that learn properly. Now second point is then, when a wasp is, that is not a wasp, it is a wasp sting. When a wasp means yellow color insects, ठीक है, इसे हम बरैया भी कहते हैं. When a wasp sting, it inject alkaline liquid. Wasp inject a alkaline liquid, and to alkaline means it is a base, and we just neutralize it with the help of a vinegar. So learn properly. This honeybee release acidic liquid, while the wasp release alkaline liquid. Now third example we have a ant sting. Ant actually release a methanoic acid, that means acid, and to neutralize it, we just rub a mild base over there to neutralize this one. So this is some of the examples which is related to the pH also. So when a person having to touch the leaves of a nettle plant is a just kind of plant whichever sticky sting, you can say sticking hair, you can say. So it just inject a methanoic acid into the skin of the person. Burning pain is occur. So neutralize it, we just rub baking soda on the skin. So we have a number of examples what is the importance of pH in our everyday life. Just remember this one. So this is a short summary, you can say. You just learn it properly because it is a very easy topic. You can learn it by just practicing or memory by the help of a notes. So have a good day. Thank you.